Well, this has been a weird day. Apparently, urgent calls were not as urgent as everybody made them out to be. So, so weird. So, let's see if we can do this again. And nobody else will have a train wreck on me. Am I online? Well, in theory, I'm online, but I don't know if I'm online. Oh, hey. Hey, Kentucky. Hey, Militant. Hey, Caribbean House. So apparently the calls from work that were so urgent was stupid things that I told people yesterday, and they didn't pay attention. So they just kept calling in a panic because we didn't read emails. And I don't know what that dude's doing. Bubba, you need to get off the highway. You're going to become dead. Pendejo. Anyway. I'm just too tired. I spent too much time in the sun today to deal with stupid. So now I'm salty, which is probably, well, it'll be amusing for all of y'all. It wasn't amusing for the people who called me. So, where were we? So what's going on in Ukraine? Because I've watched no news other than militant roots. You feel my pain. Good. At least you guys can relate. What's going on besides they're still fighting? Like, has anything new happened? Hey, Milkmaid. And I keep looking in my rear view because I have furniture. We had to clear out the hunting lease. We're getting a new lease. And they're like, yeah, this stuff is going to get replaced. And they had really nice chairs. And they're like, yeah, take them home because it'll fit in your house somewhere. And Sassy wanted them. So I've got a pickup truck with 3 really nice, like, Hemingway-style lounge chairs. I have a bottle of red wine, a bunch of big number 10 cans of green beans, and miscellaneous other shit. It looks like I just went to the most bizarre yard sale in the world and loaded up my truck. And what are they spraying here? They're spraying COVID. That's what they're spraying. See, now I said COVID on my video, so guys, what's going on overseas? I have watched no news today, and Arkansas living with it. Are those little dueling people, or I can't tell? They look like that big on my screen. So I will tell you that the energy sector, I just drove past what had to have been the most big-ass solar farm I've ever seen. And when I say it was big-ass, I mean it literally took up a whole valley. They were working on the windmills. They're putting new ones up. And I was salty. I was like, did you not read my email? Then I got scolded by a client. Vlad turning up the fire. Oh. It doesn't surprise me. I heard this morning briefly, the fencing dudes. Okay, I thought it was the dueling guys. I heard this morning that they had started hitting civilian buildings, like blatantly civilian. It wasn't like they were aiming at a tank and hit an apartment. He's basically tearing the shit out of the Ukraine right now. But is that the Sun truckers are busted on most of them? Yeah. So speaking of truckers, has the convoy made it to DC yet? Because tonight's the State of the Union, right? Tater Tot's going to talk tonight, or I thought he was, so I'm curious. I wonder what he's going to have to say, because right now this is a shit show. The dude is running out of options. He knows. Well, Redleg, you know what? Like I said, and tonight, 9 p.m. Thank you, Lucky. And dude, that guy almost hit the other truck. Do you not know how to drive? There's nothing out here but cactus, and you almost hit each other. There's some people shouldn't be allowed outside. You know, like the bad kid that always gets in fights in the playground. They just shouldn't be allowed out. But I'm really curious what the tater tot is going to tell us about this, because Afghanistan was a debacle. This is a mess. I don't know. This is weird. Just weird stuff, guys. It's been really bizarre. But so I'm kind of happy I'm out here, because at least I'm away from major cities. Hey Ashley, you should probably have been on the drive to Philly. People forgot. I grew up in New York City, and well, we hardly ever drove. We had subways that smelled like pee. Now they're even worse. But yeah, I've driven through Philly. That wasn't a good experience. It's his first State of the Union. So, wait, I'm trying to think. So he was elected in 20, end of 20, took office in 21, hence the 1621 issue. Yeah, this would be his first State of the Union. This will be interesting. I'm curious. I'm curious to see what he's going to say. Is anyone seeing prices come down on gas, on groceries? Because we're not. It hasn't gone much higher, but I'm hearing other places it's bad. This is that's going to be interesting, Lucky. I'm really curious. State of the whatever. 395. God. Shit. That was 350 here, but this is in Bufu, Texas, right? So, like, I'm assuming there's more cost to bring the shit here. You went up 20 cents. Okay, we're up about 15, and we're right in the middle of all the shit. 330 today in Arkansas. That's not too bad. 24 gallons. Oof. Ouch. That sucks. That's yow. So have you guys, I take it you guys, some of you have gone to Panera, right? That little bakery sandwich joint. And that was a place we go on like Saturdays, go have brunch. And we were out and about at the farmer's market. We're like, oh, Panera. 2 people. It was a lunch, sandwich, salad. 40 freaking bucks. Sassy looks at me and goes, holy shit. What the hell are they serving us that's cost 40 bucks? And I said, let's look. Every one of the dishes we had ordered that normally were like 5 bucks are now 8. So $3.69 in Kentucky, $3.89 in Northern Virginia, 125 gallons of heating oil. Ow! $4.75. Blah. God. If they're trying to do a global reset, they're going to break everything, and then they're going to, like, rule over a shit pile. I mean, I don't understand. This is just weird. Panera's expensive, eh? Well, yeah, and that's why it was kind of like one of those every few weeks would be like, oh, let's try something a little fancy for breakfast, right? And after that, we left, and we hadn't been there in forever. And I said, you know what? Next time we should just go to the little restaurant in the corner and get tacos. The skeeters are out tonight. We get the black flies in West Texas. That's some new shit to us, because we had skeeters. Yes, Lucky. And that's kind of where I was going. A lot of things that we've done for granted, you know, in the past. Even Burger King, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, it's getting to where folks won't be able to afford it. And it's going to hurt the companies, it's going to hurt the rest of us, or they're going to reduce the quality of the food to make it affordable, and now you're eating even worse garbage than you were eating before. I don't know, guys, that's kind of... and supposedly they're supposed to fix this, right? They're like, we're going to make changes, but Chinese food used to be cheap. No, militant, it's not. So I found a hole-in-the-wall Chinese joint out where I am that the platter is like $12. It's a bit expensive, but it's so much food you can split it in 3, and so we'll eat it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's still good. But yeah, in general, a lot of takeouts been bad. What's that? Venezuela McD's is a luxury. Yeah. Potato State of the Union will be it probably will be, Bug. What concerns me is right now Putin's backed into a corner, right? His people are suffering, and it's going to go one of 3 ways. I said this morning. 1, they'll oust him, and he's going to fight his own people. 2, they're going to react out of desperation and do something awful. And Ashley, they're going to fill him up with meds and caffeine. He's probably been sleeping all day, so he's focused. But I'm wondering if we're going to get any people calling bullshit in the audience of the Congress. Not the guests up in the upper portico, but the people in Congress. Like we did a few times where every now and then some senator or congressperson gets pissed off and they're like, that's not true. But, oh, that's on fire. I really don't want to be around that. I don't know what it is, but some shit's on fire. So, and it's black smoke, which means it's burning oil and rubber. So I'm going to go somewhere else. Yeah, gang, I would encourage everyone. I know politics is nauseating. I want to hear what the guy has to say. Because I'm wondering if that's going to give us a hint as to where they're going. I miss Lucky's. Anyone watch Constantine's stream today? Talked about banking there, bank runs. Yeah, you're talking about Russia? Yeah, absolutely. Russia's, well, it's the same model. We saw it in Venezuela, Russia, Cuba, and also in Germany and the U.S. during the Depression. And militant, that's something scary to think about, because if he flattens part of Europe to be remembered in history, he might do it, right? He's not a young guy. Right now, I'm wondering if he's thinking about legacy. What am I going to leave behind for my people? And you got to wonder, is he still calculating, or is he lost his marbles? We don't know. You know, my president sounds like he has marbles in his mouth. I mean, I don't know. Well, he's working on it, Lucky, that's for sure. Putin is definitely, he's no joke. I mean, he didn't get to where he is by being stupid, for sure. So the question is, what's the president going to do? Now, what I'm wondering about is, so we got the truckers in D.C., we got all our leaders in D.C. That would be a great way to screw up the country, is to go and do something there. And that's purely speculative, but after watching Designated Survivor, just the first season, by the time the second season came around, it became very political and it pissed me off. But Yeah, that's scary stuff. I don't know. We've got a shooting war in Europe, not a skirmish, a major shooting war for the first time since what, 1945? And it's not the Bosnian thing. That was a bit of a civil war. Croatia was a bit of a civil war. Other countries had their hands in it, but it's, yeah, lucky. The first season was great. I was like, this is a good series. And then they started the second series with, man, Bug Dude, if I don't know what they are in his mouth, if those aren't marbles. But the second season immediately got gun control-y and political and Republican, Democrat, and I was like, all right, I lost interest. And there goes the fire truck, so that was legit. That's not bueno. So, his dentures are getting in the way, Lucky. They're popping out. Yeah, it's going to be weird. We need to get more energy independence. And we have the means to do it, at least for a while, and we're not. Germany, I don't know if you guys saw this. So Germany's parliament, or Politburo, whatever the hell it's called, Designated Survivor Militant. The first season, good. I liked it. It was very technical, explaining. So basically, the premise of the movie, of the show, is lucky. A bomb goes off during the State of the Union, and the hey Hava, hey SKM. A bomb goes off during the State of the Union, and now there's a designated survivor, is the guy who's now in charge. But the whole first season, they explain how the country would continue. For instance, the governors can immediately appoint 2 senators in an emergency. So now we had a Senate. The Senate then voted on a date to elect, and then each individual state had the elections based on the previous electoral map to reinstate House of Representatives. And by the end of the season, hey Navi, by the end of the season, bam, the government was reconstituted with a lot of new people. But yeah, Lucky's absolutely right. That's correct. So yeah, it's a good show to watch. Again, a hypothetical. It's kind of like Tom Clancy meets 24, and I guess I'm thinking 24 because of Kiefer Sutherland. But Kiefer's a weenie. He is a weenie. But I got to tell you, the sunsets out in West Texas are super pretty. Yeah, I'm really concerned that it's going to spill over, this whole Ukraine thing, and I'm hoping not. If you guys didn't see Tribe's, I think it was just Tribe and Josh. Lucky, I don't know if you were in there, but I think it was just the 2 of them the whole way through. No one else jumped in. And they had a good conversation. There were a lot of convos and discussions they were having about various topics. Right now, the costs are going up. They're not going down. They said it would go down by now, and they haven't. So, you know, try to reduce those costs as best you can. We can't freak out. What I would encourage all of you to do, and I mentioned it this morning, is reach out to the new people. If you see them in the chat, even if it's not your live, you see someone else saying, hey, I'm new, I'm freaking out, reach out to them. Some are trolls and some are stupid. You're going to get stupid. But being able to help more, in my mind, the more people who have 3 days of freaking food, the less people are going to have a heart attack if something pops off or if something just goes wrong. Gas jumped 22 cents. Yeah. And Navi is an authority because Navi runs a gas station. So he sees that. The 22 cents, God. And Yeah, absolutely, Militant. It's fewer people who you have to worry about. Again, if you noticed, a lot of my shorts that I import from TikTok are very fundamental. They're very rudimentary, and a lot of you are probably like, well, we kind of know this, bro, but it's really not meant for people who've been doing it or have been studying it and kind of understand. There's a lot of new people reaching out, and they're freaked out, and they should be. I mean, not, and that's what I'm trying to teach them. Don't have a heart attack. Plan, go to the basics, go to the fundamentals. You know, even to this day, I have people who will openly tell me I don't have a day's worth of food, much less 3 days or 7 days or a week. Guys, that blows my mind. It's like they've learned nothing from the past 3 years. They, you know, fingers in the ears, la 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 la, and it'll go away. Hey, Caribbean House. So, God, there's a lot of equipment out west, guys. Like oil field, construction, it's just stacked. I know this stuff could get put to work. And that's it's kind of depressing. Man, there's containers everywhere too, like empty containers. Apparently I'm going through the surplus bin of Texas right now, which I've not been this way before, so this is new. And then there's this big ass mafia ranch house over here with a black horse and a boat. Even though the nearest body of water is 3 hours away, we're gonna have a boat, damn it. Y'all, these are nice properties. They're just out in the hot, and there's a flare. It's almost getting to the point some nights you can drive down the country roads, turn your headlights off, and drive by the gas flares out here. Hey, D9. So, gang, yeah, it's, as everybody's pointed out, the half-set boat, yeah. I don't know, there's like, the nearest water is literally 3 hours away. That's worthy of a boat, right? Otherwise, it's a canoe. Yeah. Well, Lucky, and to Lucky's point, and you guys may have seen that video I put out, I went to a bank because I had to put something, I have a safe deposit box in a bank away from my house where I have valuable papers and shit. And I needed to do something there, and I was putting updated paperwork, and I told the young lady who was like my bank assistant or whatever, you know, the helper, yeah, I'm probably going to stop by this ATM and take some cash out. Yes, you're from, you grew up out in this neck of the woods, so yeah. Of course, if I knew I was going to stay here longer than they said I would, which may happen after all, I might get a boat and more property, but I'm waiting to see. But yeah, I gotta tell you, when I told her, you know, have some cash, and she looks at me and goes, why? I said, well, if we have another freeze and the power goes out for a week, how are you gonna buy anything if the cards don't work? And she couldn't have been 25. She was super young. And her eyes got this big. She's like, oh my God, I never thought of that. And I said, right, and if all you have is 20s, how are they going to make change if everyone has 20s? And, you know, you'd think someone working in a bank would understand that. Wanted a sailboat. No, I wanted a fishing boat once upon a time. Now I'm thinking the stupid pontoon boat, the big square. That was a light bulb moment, Lucky. But it's like there's a lot of young adults, like in their early 20s, who are not thinking like this. And I'll say shit to them in person, not even on any platform. And their little light bulbs is like, bring, in their head. I don't know if it makes that sound, bring, but... And you see this look of awe. And to me, it's like, hey, Arkansas, whoop. They're just shocked that I thought of this and they didn't. And I'm like, guys, no, you need to understand this. Me making random incoherent turkey gobble. yeah, some of them, they just they don't pay attention. They're not understanding. And it's, on the one hand, did we not teach them? Or because my kids know, my kids are all sorts of like prepared and shit, so I'm like, all right, obviously some of you listened. You bought 2 kayaks, Hava? So, okay, so in the chat, I'm going to throw a question out there before I close out the live. What sales did you guys find this week? Did you find anything really good? Was it like, did you find anything in like HEB, really good rice? Take care, D9, be safe. Anything that you'd want to share with anyone. And keep in mind, we all have different stores. So my little brother just turned 23 and he's starting to realize that I'm not that crazy after. Yes, they grow up and they go out on their own and they freak out. Took me 4 months to get the right ones. So I'm finding, those of you who have HEBs and Sam's Club, I've been finding ground meats on sale, like $2, $2.20, which is not on sale from 4 years ago. But the prices were not bad, but you have to buy the big pack. So, Ferro Rod, half off. And a Sawyer Mini. Okay. What store was that, Bug? Tents at Walmart. Okay. That's good. By the way, 380 and 9mm ammunition at Academy was not on sale. I'll just share that with you. $75. Good. Yeah, and if you noticed, it's a lot of bulk sales you guys are pointing out, including me. And that's the kind of stuff you want to look for. So those can be, right, you spend more in general, but you're paying less per unit of whatever the hell it is you're buying. So what you may have to do, you may want to split it with someone. Sorry, it came from Ace Hardware. Oh, really? Okay, good. Ace Hardware. By the way, Ace Hardware, at least in my area, has dog and cat food. So if there's a run on pet foods, you're going to pay a couple of bucks more, but you can find most of the brands right in that store. So yeah, guys, what I might do, I'll put a post on my community page later. And Sam's Club chicken breast, $2.12 a pound. Okay, that's good. That's close to what mine were. I can't find 410 here. I found 410 like 3 months ago. I picked up 3 little boxes. Haven't seen it since. Yeah, my Ace doesn't sell firearms, sadly. But they have all sorts of other shit. Like, they could compete with Lowe's. So propane went up. That's the 2 little green bottles. Used to be like $4 or $5. It's now like $9 where I'm at. Oh, there you go. And check the thrift stores to Tactical's comment. Thrift stores, Goodwill, other folks will dispose of them because they may not need the product. And you can make out like a bandit. Well, like the chairs, right? If I bought 3, chairs, brand new chairs, office chairs like that, it'll run me at least $600, maybe more, depending on the size. I got them for free. Now I'm going to have to reupholster them, but the cost of reupholstering is nothing compared to buying 3 new chairs. So look for stuff that's being surplused or is being sold off. Tire shops. What about tire shops? Oh, no kidding. Yeah, there's an idea. Also, truck stops. I have found the neatest shit, especially if you're going to be on the road. Everything from electronic adapters to compasses to CB radios. I mean, there's just to those tire thumpers, which is basically a whacker. It's a freaking shillelagh. Yeah, these you hit the truck stores, you can often find something really useful in there. Again, you may pay a couple of bucks more, but you're gonna might find something that can be useful. Hanging out at Buc-ee's. Yes, no, I wish I had a Buc-ee's a little bit closer, but so yeah, guys, it's hey, have a good evening, Klingon. Yeah, guys, look for those sales. Again, if you buy bulk, it's gonna cost you more, but you're gonna spend less per a 12-volt stove. Yeah, you can find little fridges, and by the way, you get those little fridges or freezers and you have a Jackery or some other big power bank, you can run it off the power bank, so you can at least keep, for instance, if you have a diabetic kid, right, you get one of those 12-volt little fridges that truckers have. You could run it off a Jackery or off the 12-volt of your car, and you can keep insulin cool. So stuff like that might be valuable, even though you may not use it all the time. But well, in any case, guys, look, it's State of the Union will be in, I guess, 2.5 hours. I'm going to watch it. I'm not a big fan, but I'm going to watch it because I want to know what they're thinking, if they're thinking. And if they're not thinking, I might be quite sad, although I wouldn't be completely surprised. Militant, I found my, hey Klingon, I found my, the Jackery 290 at Harbor Freight, which was super, super good. Unfortunately, I had Harbor Freight tools and the Cobalt tools in my garage at my old house, and the Harbor Freight tools rusted in a month, and the Cobalts never did. So I guess there's a little bit of a quality difference. But I used them for a while. Actually, my son took them for his apartment. But guys, watch what they say tonight, and then watch the response from the other party, because I really think this year of all years, I want to know what's going to happen with our election. Are they going to screw with that domestically? How are they going to address Russia and Ukraine? And right now, we're all looking at Russia. Nobody's looking at the Pacific, and that kind of concerns me also. And all of these things can affect trade, and they will immediately affect our ability to find stuff. Yes, Arkansas, I bought the Jackery, and now I got to go back and get a solar panel. But yeah, Joe doesn't need to take... No, well, because he forgets what he was saying, and then we'll be waiting there for 20 minutes for him to answer the question. So, but guys, look for those sales. There's a bunch of sales in the chat. If you're coming in a little late, folks are reporting what they found in Harbor Freight, Sam's, Walmart. Yes, eyes on Taiwan, because that can go sideways. That's why China doesn't want to vote one way or the other. They want to see what Putin gets away with before they make a move. And Taiwan could get ugly, because that's a major microchip manufacturing facility. And they'll corner the market on microchips all of a sudden. And that's not good for anybody. So, you know the thing. Yes. Joe's gonna the thing. But guys, I'm getting into a bit of traffic here, so I'm going to kind of try and focus on this fun I got in front of me. But no, Joe, you know what I do? I watch the news, and then I check YouTube and see what everyone else is hearing and kind of draw trends, because I don't trust the media. not the way I used to when I was younger. No way. But wonder if his eyes will be black or blue tonight. No kidding. No kidding. Well, look, you guys be safe. Thank you for jumping on my second attempt at my chat tonight. And if our schedules work out, we will be having a panel with 6-Shooter Homestead, talk about homesteading and planting gardens and stuff like that. So it'll be a change of pace. We're going to kind of leave the Ukraine for a night and talk about things you can do at your own home to improve your quality of life and probably improve the quality of your own food, which is a good thing. So guys, you be good, be safe, and y'all be careful out there. And I will be watching. I might live stream the State of the Union. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet. And then y'all can collaborate and chat. I might put my camera up to the State of the Union. Assuming you don't get corgis running across the State of the Union. Which, to be honest, I think the corgi would... That's... You guys be safe. Take care of yourselves. And Loretta will have her soup ready. Good deal. And make popcorn, Lucky. The corgi would be a bonus, just a corgi head coming over the table. All right, guys, you be safe, and I'm going to make my way back home.